Hello friends, WobbleRocket here. We are back for another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. We've got a lot of things that I want to get done today. Our little cabin is looking a little bit claustrophobic. We've kind of outgrown what we can do here, so one of our first goals today is finding a new location for a permanent base. Since our last episode, I spent a little bit of time exploring, and I did actually find a village about 1,000 blocks away and collected a whole bunch of resources. I built a basic backpack, which is actually not the backpack I mentioned in our last episode. This is from the Iron Backpacks mod, and we'll later be able to upgrade that. In my exploring, I did actually find a really good site for our new home. There's just one problem. It's 4,477 blocks away. I did that trek by foot once. I'm not keen on doing it again. There is a floating island up this way. And if we grab that, we can make us a mode of transportation that's really going to help us out. I've grabbed a whole bunch of dirt blocks because we're going to have to pillar up to that island. So let's get started. For my American friends, I hope that you had a wonderful July 4th holiday. Hopefully it was a very good and safe holiday. I'm actually recording this video on July 4th, although it won't go live until a day or two afterwards. Ooh, there is a ravine right here. You need to be careful about that. I say as I just fell into a small hole. Between episodes, I spent a little bit of time smelting up all of our grout, which we'll use to construct our Tinker's Smeltery today. All right, let's see if we can get where we want to be right now. There's a bunch of trees in the way, but let's try right here. I'm going to use the tried and true Minecraft method of pillaring up as high as we can go. And we have found ourselves on a slime island. We're going to dig up some of this slime right here. I did not bring a crafting table with me. Do I have any wood in my backpack? I do have wood in my backpack, so we can make a crafting table. Perfect. We're going to stick 2 slime balls and 2 congealed slime blocks, and now we have a pair of slime boots. You thought I was going to die there, didn't you? That's the advantage of our slime boots. Really? There's one block way up there, so it's just going to stay there. Our slime boots allow us to fall from any height, and we bounce. It's easily one of my favorite items in this mod pack. Home sweet home for the moment. Our next goal is to start heading that way. A really, really, really long way. That was a doozy of a trip, but this is what I found. This really incredible overgrown temple, I'm pretty sure is from the Recurrent Complex mod, which adds all sorts of random structures throughout your world. This temple is a dungeon and it is full of mob spawners, so we'll have our work cut out for us clearing this place out, but it's such a really cool structure, and this area is just chock full of interesting details. There is a Gorgon temple from Ice and Fire. There are no less than 3 floating islands here. We have a Cyclops cave. We have a village right around the corner from us. This is going to be our new home, and it's going to take a while to clear this dungeon out. But one of the first things I want to do is just kind of build a small little hobby hole in the side of the building so that we have a place to stay, and then we can start moving all of our materials over from our temporary home. Break that spawner. Generally speaking, I would be better off keeping the spawners and not breaking them. But there are so many dungeons and so many structures in this world that I don't think I'm going to have any trouble finding the types of spawners that I'm looking for. Step one, we're going to block this off just so that nothing can come at us from that direction. All right. It's not much, but we do have a small little space to call home right now. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just widening our space here. And we found a treasure chest. Perfect. Whoa. And another cave spider. And see what we found. Found some coal, some gold ingots, cobweb, and an emerald. Perfect. A couple of golden swords. These unfortunately are not useful for fighting monsters. However, because there are 3 of them, we can actually turn these into a couple of golden spikes. And these will be a great little defensive mechanism. Let's go ahead and turn hostile creatures volume down just a little bit. After a few minutes of work and a few hours of trekking back and forth between our cabin and this temple, we have ourselves a nice little starter home. Got several chests full of goodies. We moved all of our crafting stations over, stuck in a couple of furnaces, lit the place up so we won't have any problems with monsters, and now it's time to get started on finding a spot to stick our smeltery so that we can start getting some metal tools. I will be really glad once I find all of these spider spawners and just completely destroy them. Yesterday I had a wonderful day. I was actually invited by Mr. Vloop, who is a Brazilian Minecraft streamer, to join his Enigmatica SMP server. I've been watching Vloop stream for a little while, and he's just such a fun and welcoming person, and so I was really excited to get that invitation to join the Enigmatica server. I will probably start recording some videos on that server. I've already got a little bit of a base built. The Enigmatica SMP server is a vanilla 1.20 server, although it does have a couple of data packs and plugins on the server to kind of make it a little bit modded. I've been thinking more about what sort of posting schedule I want to have for my channel in general. I think I'm probably going to end up doing videos on Minecraft probably about 3 times a week. All right, this guy's getting on my nerves. Filling in with action roguelike and Metroidvania. So the majority of the content on this channel will kind of skew towards Minecraft. But I still want to showcase some of the really great indie action roguelites that are coming out. And then Metroidvanias are just something that I enjoy. Time to eat some chicken. Nope. Well, that went well. I need to lay down a new bed and reset my spawn point because I forgot to do that. After that last death, I realized that I had not re-enabled my texture packs. I had hopped into just a little test creative world, and I was using the vanilla Minecraft textures. I also spent a little bit of time and cleared out this room. So let's get started on putting together our Tinker's Smeltery. To build our Tinker's Smeltery, we're going to need a bunch of seared bricks and a couple of pieces of glass. We have several things that we need to make today. We need to craft a smeltery controller, a seared tank, at least 2 seared bricks, although we're going to make quite a few more than that, a seared drain, a seared faucet, and a casting table. The smeltery controller is the input device for the Tinker's Construct multi-block, and that's just made by putting seared bricks all the way around the edge of the crafting table. The casting table is made by creating a table shape, and we're also going to make a casting basin. The difference between the casting table and the casting basin is that the basin can be used to cast entire blocks. We're going to make a couple of faucets. These will be used to draw things out of the seared drain, which is made by 2 parallel lines of seared bricks. And we're also going to need something to hold the lava that we'll use to power our smeltery. The rest of these will turn into seared bricks, and that should give us everything that we need. With all of the pieces of our smeltery made, it's time to assemble it. We're going to start by digging a 3x3 hole. And we're going to fill that with seared bricks. We'll place some seared bricks along the back edge. I'm going to place our seared drain on the corner. Place our smeltery controller, place our seared tank. Our smeltery is now complete. You see that the smeltery controller lit up, but there's one problem. We don't have any way to power this. And to do that, we're going to need to go find some lava. Real quick, before we leave, I'm going to go ahead and throw down our casting table and our casting basin, and then we'll place our 2 faucets. The faucets go directly on the side of the seared drains. We have a couple of seared bricks left over, so I'm going to go ahead and just fill this in. This will allow us to have a second level to our smeltery and allow it to hold a little bit more materials. The next goal is finding some lava. In fact, it looks like there is some lava nearby. And there's the lava that we need. Whoa! Okay, downsides of using slime boots. Be careful where you jump. Now that I'm no longer burning. If you're wondering why I didn't take damage when the lava set me on fire, it's because I found this little fire charm in one of the chests that I picked up from the village. I also found a void charm, which will protect me from falling into the void. An antidote charm, which should auto cure poison and wither, although with all the spiders I've been fighting, it's already used up. I also found a pair of climbing gloves, which will allow us to scale vertical surfaces if we need to. With our lava collected, we have a functioning smeltery. We're going to go ahead and get our smeltery started by throwing in a couple of pieces of copper ore. I'm also going to need to make a clay cast. I placed down one of our stone sharpening kits and have selected the clay in our smeltery. This is going to make a clay cast, which unfortunately is consumed every time that it's used, but we only need to make one of these for the moment. So we'll take our copper. And now we can come back to our tool station by putting our stone pickaxe with a copper sharpening kit and a piece of flint. We now have a stone pickaxe that is fortified with copper. This will allow us to still repair it with our stone sharpening kits, but it increases the mining level of the pickaxe, and now we'll be able to mine anything that could be mined with a copper pickaxe. While I was exploring the village, I lucked out and I found a whole bunch of iron bars. And this is going to actually allow us to skip a couple of steps. And now we have a pickaxe that is capable of mining anything that could be mined with iron, which means that we can now collect these blocks of redstone. Since we also have several golden swords, I'm going to go ahead and smelt those down so that we can get some permanent casts made. By crafting a stone bucket, we can make a bucket cast. And then with some of our iron, we're now able to craft a proper bucket. This means that whenever we need to collect some more lava, we won't have to worry about our clay buckets being destroyed. Now that we have a proper smeltery and we have a decent pickaxe, the next thing I want to do is work on fixing our storage issues a little bit. Right now, everything is just dumped into all of these chests and it's a little chaotic. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and create some storage options. There we go. That's a lot better. In order to make some storage, all I did was just create some of these basic storage drawers, which is just a chest with 2 rows of planks on the top and bottom. The great thing about these basic drawers is that they only hold 1 item, but they can hold up to, I think it's 16 stacks of that item. So they're really great whenever you have something that you're trying to store a lot of. For more basic items, I've just got some labeled chests now that I'm going to dump things into. These storage drawers are super handy and they will be a great way to maximize our storage for a while. I took a little bit of time and I upgraded our little backpack into a gold backpack. So it now stores a considerable amount of material. I also took an hour or two clearing out some of the temple and opening things up a little bit. I actually found a pair of zombie spawners not very far from where we built our base. So I've encapsulated that. And eventually what we'll do is we'll make some of those gold spikes and we'll build ourselves a little zombie farm here that will be a great way to collect inferium, which we'll use once we start getting into the mystical agriculture mod. Right now, I just have these guys kind of trapped in here. At some point, I will come back in here and turn this into something a little bit better. Now that we've completed our smeltery, our next step is going to be doing some mining. This right here might be a good place to begin. If we're lucky, we'll run into some sort of a cave complex down here, which will make mining quite a bit easier, but if not, I'm okay with just digging down all the way to bedrock straight from the base. I like having a mine directly inside my base. I will end up probably eventually setting up some sort of a rail system so that I can easily transport from one layer to another. This mod pack does, I believe, have a couple of elevator blocks. I'm not super familiar with them, so I may do a little bit of exploring in JEI and see if I can uncover something with that might be a useful solution for us. I want to make sure that we keep this lit up so that nothing starts spawning inside of our base. There's some copper ore right there. Copper will be particularly helpful whenever we start getting into the early stages of power generation. We'll be using it to make copper wires. Oh, there's a baby zombie. Where did he come from? That was unusual. Did he somehow generate up here? Oh, he generated inside the mob spawner and he jumped the block. That's exactly what happened. Okay, just to make sure that doesn't happen again, I'm going to block that off for now. Looks like we may have a mine shaft directly under our base, so that is really nice. I'm really excited about that. Yet more things to explore. Let's light this up a little bit so we can see what's going on. Looks like there's quite a bit of ore through here. Oh wow, this mineshaft actually intersects with a ravine. So this is wonderful. This is going to be a really cool little area that I might turn into something later on. It would be really neat, I think, to connect our stairwell that we've got going back up to the base to this mine shaft here. I think that would be a fun way to kind of integrate what we've got going on with the natural structures of the world. See if I can kill this creeper before he blows up. We've collected a lot of cobwebs from clearing out this dungeon. So I think what we're going to do is upgrade our broadsword a little bit. By adding the cobwebs to the broadsword, it gains the webbed modifier, which has a really great effect of slowing down enemies when they're hit. While I'm at it, I'm also going to go ahead and stick some redstone on our pickaxe. This will speed up the attack speed of the pickaxe and make it a lot faster for mining things. We just picked up some Certus quartz, so that will allow us to complete our next quest. And since we already had iron, we auto-completed the quest for iron as well. This is apatite ore, and I believe we can use it to create some fertilizer. I'm going to hold off on mining it for the moment, just because there is a lot of it that drops, and it will really fill up my inventory at the moment. Once we have more storage and we're a little better able to use it, then we'll come back and collect this apatite. There's some uranium ore there. That'll be useful for power generation later on. The ore excavation mod that is in this mod pack is super helpful for mining large sections of stone all at once. The only downside is that with our pickaxe being made of stone at the moment, mining large areas like that really chews through our durability, and we end up having to repair just about every time that we use that function. And there we go. There's some lapis here. Also quite a lot of gold and redstone all in this little section, so this is nice. Back on the surface, we're going to take our lapis and throw it onto our pickaxe, and with that we'll be able to get the luck modifier. This will help increase the number of blocks that drop every time that we mine something. All right, friends, we've accomplished a lot this episode. We've moved everything over to this overgrown temple. We've cleared out a little living space. We got our smeltery built, killed a crap ton of spiders, and we got some really great upgrades for some of our equipment. For our next episode, I'm going to spend some time doing a little bit more mining just so that I can upgrade our pickaxe to obsidian level. This process is exactly the same as what you've seen in this video. I'll just be creating sharpening kits for each new material that I unlock. Once we have an obsidian pickaxe, we'll be able to access the nether, and that's going to be the topic of our next video. Also in our next video, we will set up some basic ore processing so that we can double the amount of ores that we have. And then we may also see about creating a couple of machines so that we can start progressing through the quest book again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out the other episodes in this series, as well as the Enigmatica 2 expert tutorial playlist that I've got set up as well. New episodes of this series will be coming out every Wednesday and Friday. You can also look for Fantastica SMP videos coming out every Monday. My name's WobbleRocket. I'll catch you around.